Hey, welcome everybody to Battle Pirates Crib. Tonight we're going to be talking about building upgrades, what everybody thought about Live Wire, and the new FM cycle, new target, and whatnot. Um, Derpy's out counting some last votes, so he'll be with us in a few minutes. Um, let's say hello to everybody. Lady Cat
Hello.
and Magic Mike.
Hi, everybody.
So let's go on and move with the bug fixes. All right, Ben's calling out a bug fix or a current bug. We'll get to this after these. Fixed an issue in Blood Frenzy, which is a campaign that is now running, where structures appear to regain health after defeat. Okay, glad that's fixed. Uh, the people that are interested in your battle log for your mega ship, that's been fixed. So, oh, that's somebody else's Facebook notifications. I thought it was mine. And is that you, Lady Cat?
What are you talking about?
I hear somebody getting Facebook messages.
Not me.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm not getting them. So, oh, never mind. It was a report in on Discord. So I'll check that and see where that leads us. All right. Sorry for that little interruption. There, please note that we'll be releasing some updates to Cormorants to better align with functionality of the new Ronin Tier 9.5 Skirmish Hall. Details to follow. Okay, this is sort of a issue I hope that they fix. What they're going to do currently, Cormorants will not fire on a sub that's submerged. They're going to fix that at some point in time, either in this hopefully before VXP weekend or in the next update or something like that. And but the issue is that we have VXP weekend happening this Friday, and there's no way for players to understand the effectiveness of putting Cormorants in the two countermeasure slots on their Ronins. So we don't know if it does anything or doesn't do anything. So if it's not released in that time period, before VXP weekend to allow people to fit them under their halls, we don't really know if they do anything when the raid shows up. So if
Hopefully, yeah.
hopefully that they will run these VXP targets at some point later in the month prior to the raid, so people know whether they're a good thing or not.
And if we need specials and how many we need.
Well, the Bushido special, or not the Bushido, the Kenjutsu, the countermeasure special that we got in the raid is you should put that on regardless.
Okay. Yeah. But
So
it'll work with the cormorant set.
it would work with the Cormorants, and it's a very powerful special, and it would also work with the built-in CM shield that's already going on. So I would put that on anyways. The only real decision to be made is, um, do you fill those two countermeasure underwater slots on your Ronins with Cormorants, or do you put torpedoes on those two slots to increase your damage?
Right.
It should not impact your specials.
Right. Well,
So,
then it's just a matter of how many we'll need.
or if
I
any,
mean, if
if
any.
they don't do if they don't do anything, because they have an accuracy of, I think of 70, while the countermeasure shield that is built into it has a accuracy, I think, of 135.
Yeah, that worries me.
Yeah. So, and the fact that until they make the fix to the cormorants, they just will not fire. So you have no idea, because they don't fire when they're underwater, and the Ronin is a sub that does not surface.
Are they guaranteeing that they're not going to release like a new cormorant? So if I were to go ahead and put on the old ones, am I safe doing that, knowing that they're going to be, the functionality will
Well,
be?
so I would wait and do those. I would
Yeah.
wait and do those last because we don't even know if they'll be effective. So you might put them on and they don't shoot anything down, or they shoot down 1 out of every 10, or 1 out of every 12. We don't
Right.
know the
Okay.
effect. So I would wait on them either way.
Okay.
Um, and then Anthony's saying you'll need to have at least one CM, as all torps make it too heavy. Yeah, I mean, there might be some other. There's a depth charge that, I forget the name of it. It fires while you're submerged, and it gives you +6 combat speed as well. And it's a lighter one. It's an older one, so that might be an alternative. But I'm not recommending that at this point until we figure out if things work. I can't remember the name of it right at this moment. So, and then Ben's Ben and his wife both had the same issue relocating, and they had to manually move the bases. But previously, you were saying your alt didn't have the issue, so I don't know. Doesn't appear to be computer or network based. Appears to be tied to the account, and I don't know. Have you filed any tickets, and did they give you any? Like, obviously, you filed a ticket or got in touch with somebody. Did they give you any inkling as far as what the origin of the problem might be? Because other people are able to, even using your same computer and network, you're able to relocate other bases. So it seems like it's tied directly to the account in some way. So, and I asked Geely, that was the beeping noise that I thought was somebody on Facebook. What is the most, I'm not sure if people have HTML5 problems at this point, but I asked her, what is the most common fix to HTML5 problems that people are coming directly to you with? Try a different browser for the most part. Isn't always that simple. Chromium-based browsers are recommended. That being said, if you find Chrome isn't working, try Opera GX, etc. Sometimes certain plugins don't play nice either. So if you're still having issues, that might be some way to go. And then back with, I don't find on my PC her laptop glitch. So I guess it could be some sort of computer issue. Okay, but no answer. Hey, Derpy.
Good afternoon.
Hello. Hello.
Howdy.
You feeling pretty today?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe.
He needs some self-affirmation, is what he's there. So, Derpy, I was discussing the issue with the Cormorants as it relates to VXP weekend, because we're sort of at an unknown point in regards to if the Cormorants aren't firing. We have the two CM spots that nothing else seems to be relevant to put on there or will work. I was just asking that we get another shot at it as far as another VXP weekend if the Cormorants not firing while submerged isn't fixed before VXP probably starts, because people would still need to put them on their ships in order to figure out if they work.
Yeah, I mean, what Fixeye does is they give us just barely enough build time to get a fleet working for the raid.
Yeah.
And they do a really poor job at telling us what that raid's going to be like. So it's trying to build the tool to do the job before you know what the tool has to do. And so you need to see how effective Cormorants are on here so we know if we should put them on our builds, if we should pair them with specials, or how many of them.
Well, I think the specials has already, we discussed that earlier. I think the special is already there.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to put that on it anyways because it
It,
impacts the ACM
it
shield.
won't even really help cormorants anyway, because it just adds range, which is not useful for 363 5-minute weapon. It's not very useful.
Yeah, but you're not going to. There's not a special that. Is there a special that increases countermeasure accuracy?
That would be subaquatic propellant, would it not?
Does it increase accuracy?
Yeah, it just reload. Just scratch that.
Yeah, and so they're going to fire once anyways. So
Yeah.
and they're only going to fire once, but so accuracy would be the only potential boost. So I don't know. Okay, folks. Let's see. There's some more HTML5 stuff. It runs choppy. It does. Well, we can get to that. I was going to get to that with when we talk about the RAID. As far as HTML5, at least on my computer, seems to have much more erratic use of memory. Sometimes I'll be clipping on fine because it seems HTML5 uses 2 processes inside of Chrome, which is what I use. And as opposed to Flash, just seem to rely mostly on one. And I'll be clipping along and I'll have like 1.5 gigs getting used. And then all of a sudden, and then the other one's doing 1. And the next thing I know, I got 4.3 and 2.6. And then, things are going to go to crap at that point in time. So you need to refresh at that point. But my last hit in the RAID was about 2 hours before it was over. And I was hitting a 912, which seemed to be causing a bunch of issues that I don't really think it needed to. But generally, I could get it to load. It would just load slowly. But the last target I hit, I got into the target. I'd already been hit the down button, so they didn't move. And as soon as I clicked to start the battle, it just shut down Chrome completely. And then I had to restart Chrome, restart Battle Pirates. And by the time I got in, all the ships had been launched. I was just sitting there. My ships weren't moving. So it wasn't even that it was autoing the target, which from what I read, took about between an hour and a half. My fleet was just completely dead. It wasn't dead when I got back, but there was no way for me to, everything was still there. I'd already taken over probably 2/3 damage by the time I got back in. So it just killed my entire fleet. So I found it's a good idea to keep an eye of your task manager, go to processes, and then sort it on memory used, and just pay attention to it between hits, especially targets like that. Because, like I said, it's not, Flash would sometimes creep up like 20% at a time between different targets. Sometimes what I'm seeing in HTML5, it'll double between targets and can cause you some headaches like I had, where I had 6 hours plus damage with a dead fleet. So I don't know. Did anybody else have any issues like that?
Nope.
Okay.
I locked up. I got a frozen screen twice during the raid, but just for 20 seconds the first time and about 10 seconds the second time. And that's the only trouble I've ever had with HTML. And I'm not sure why. I don't have other stuff going usually. So
912 just took a little longer to load on mine. Otherwise,
yeah, mine were in the 912. Everything else was fine.
Yeah. James says, I played the entire raid in HTML and could get into the 144 and 46 okay, but could never get into a 912. Doesn't make any sense.
You have more stuff to load. I mean, I almost timed out, or I almost used the entire loading time getting in there.
Yeah.
It was just barely loaded.
Yeah, and Ben's getting the same issue. The only issue I would crash the 912. Yeah, because I started hitting the hell out of the 912. So I hit 30 of them or some. So, and because I thought on Friday's show, as far as the walkthrough that the Saint did was excellent. As far
Absolutely.
as I was getting it, 8 minutes to hit a 912, and I already had the bonuses stacked up from the S targets. So I thought you had to follow it pretty exactly, because otherwise you would start triggering things at the wrong time. But once you got used to that, it took like 2.5 minutes to do the target, and you were getting, depending what you were hitting, a little bit extra. You were getting, I was getting somewhere between a little over 300,000 to somewhere around 360,000. And for the first whatever number I hit, I was also getting another 250,000 as the bonus. So, yeah, that was, but yeah, the 912, I don't know if it was all the ships on the outside, but it took a long time to load, and it did cause me that crash issue at least once. Yeah, and same target. Yeah, it took a long time. So I'm not really sure what was going on there in the 912. Yeah, Flash worked great, but that's not a long-term solution. But I didn't even try it, because it was the last hit. I mean, I still had an hour and a half, but I wasn't going to deal with 6 hours, over 6 hours of damage. That wasn't my fault. So yeah, they did tell us to expect delays on tickets, and I'm assuming they're related to the 912, but I'm just making an assumption.
I would assume that they're not, and that they're just related to HTML5 issues in general.
Mm-hmm. Did you try the 912 in both HTML5 and Flash? I didn't.
I have not played in Flash for months.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, we're done with bug fixes. Let's move on to the next slide. Calendar. Right now we have the new FM, which we'll talk about. VXP weekend, which we'll talk about a little bit more on Friday. Because we haven't seen the target yet, and we don't even know if the Cormorant fix is going to go into action before then. And the building pack updates we're going to talk about. The December contest. Oh, we need to keep our eye out for that. I think that's supposed to normally drops to. Oh, is it out already? Yep. Captain's Caption Contest. We're going to get to that one. So, Lady Cat, at some point, you can pull that up. I have not seen it yet, so I'm interested to see what that's going the Captain's Caption Contest is going to be about. And then Krampus is next week. It's going to involve the Snow Wolf, which I think is being teased as a new version of the Sea Wolf that I think we're going to get as either a drop in Krampus or some other sort of drop. I'm assuming
I'm expecting it's going to be the last gift for the last day of Cakemas.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we want. We want another fleet just to use for this one event, and then scrap. That's what we wanted. That's what we're asking for.
Yeah.
Like, we say 2 months cycle too slow, speed it up, give us another random ship that we use for 2 days, and
yeah, and the fact that it's gonna drop on the day everything starts, so we won't even have a chance to look at it. So yeah, we'll see. The new PV Hall calendar. But let's go to the current one, because I already have a reminder let's go to the current PV.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the caption contest.
Okay.
Let's see. Whoops.
All right. Alrighty. I already have a reminder on my phone to remind Kixeye on the January skirmish TLC, to remind them to include what the actual date of this, because this could be fairly important if you want to use your Ronin, because a lot of people are going to be going to X3 or I'm sorry, U3 or X1 on their flag, because this is a lot of time the best time to do it after that raid. And there's not a date for it, but if you're going to X1, it takes somewhere between like 8.5 and 10 plus days. So if you wanted to use the Ronin for that, you need to know when it's going to happen. So I don't know. Any more calendar? I'm running out of hall space quick. It seems. Yeah. Well, we got. I guess we should talk about that now. We got a new fleet of trenchers today. I never got a pop up about it.
I got a pop up.
Was it a Kixeye pop up or a Kixmas pop up, or just you
I
got
picked this one.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, so you got two of them.
I got 2 Kixmas pop-ups. Yes.
One
Okay.
this morning and one this afternoon.
I thought, well, I logged in today, 3 hours ago. I got 2, one of which said day 6, one of which said day 7, I think.
Because I got one this morning when I logged on, about 6:30 in the morning my time, and then I got another one this afternoon at lunch. So I got my trenchers this morning, and then some kind of repair tokens.
Yeah. So the other thing is going to get to the building upgrades, Lego. As you see, we'll get to that a bit. You're going to get some more, at least more storage space. Sub-killer towers were not helpful in the raid as the subs were quickly on you and not spawning by the towers. I think the stun towers is what I can't remember any. Yeah, the stun towers were sometimes a little tricky to use, because if they were shrouded or submerged, they wouldn't work. And then I thought, I mentioned on Friday, that the range of them seemed to have shrunk as well, because I could still have a ghost crawler in the range of my ships, and then the other side I was killing a stun tower, and it had no effect. I just thought the range was much larger in the previous raid, but they were tricky to use in regards to you need to pay attention to when they were shrouded, and then when they were shrouded, submerged, and then they had to be surfaced in order for that to work.
Although I had many instances where they were, I'm not sure about the ghost crawler. I think that only happened once, but those little ones that aren't even really ships, they were submerged, and I hit the stun tower, and I swear they were stunned because they disappeared. I mean, they just didn't pop back up until later, about the time it would take for them to unstun. And they'd just come out of nowhere all at once. It was nothing to do with my ship stunning them. I could be on the other side of the map, and they would just boom pop up. So they were occasionally stunned underwater. It's just you couldn't hit them. They didn't hit you. It's just annoying.
Yeah. Maybe they were getting stunned underwater. I don't know, but the ghost crawlers did not appear to get stunned when they were submerged.
So I think what happened is, if you're engaging a target and you stun them at the right time, as they're submerged or as they're going in the process of submerging, they might stay stunned underwater, and you have 20 seconds to drive away. Then after that, they pop up and keep chasing you.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So they did stun underwater. It just didn't help you.
I really dislike how the ships were used. That's such a weird mechanic of how they move between above water, below water. And then they were also barely visible. Like there was just a floating nav ray into some targets. The Ghost Crawler had 5% above the water at the highest, which was, I could hardly click on the thing. I couldn't see the shooting at me. I think it was stupid.
I hated the cloud. Yeah, I hated that whole mechanic.
Yeah,
Like, it didn't need to be in there. Just leave the thing above water the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Anthony had the same issue, especially the 146s. James, I see new bounties on that calendar. This is the PvE calendar. Could you take one step back, Lady Cat?
They just need to give us one that has everything.
Yeah, it is odd how they do it. It's so odd that they split them up, but you see the December bounty is the week of December 28th. It's sort of gotten pushed a week. They bought Krampus in instead. I think so. It didn't interfere with people in other countries that are allowed to travel for Christmas. So I think it's gotten delayed a week relatively. So yeah. It would be nicer if they just put everything in a like a normal calendar with like a grid. That seems to make the most sense. The calendars that people, at least
Are
I'm
you
looking at.
yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move forward unless anybody has any more calendar comments. All right, we can skip this. I mean, we've already gone through this. So there's not going to be an engine for the Ronin, unless we want to talk about that again. Right now, it appears that the Reef Rider is probably the best for most, if not all, of your ships. They both have the same build time. The big difference is the amount of survival, especially the amount of concussive survival the Old Glory has. But you have additional projectile speed and concussive damage for the Reef Rider. If we find that damage is particularly onerous on, the first or the fifth ship, maybe the Old Glory would mollify some of that damage, but we don't know at this point. Combined with a little bit more of aid, otherwise these are the same same engine besides those differences. And most likely the Reef Rider is, I don't know. I mean, I'm still tempted to go probably Old Glory on one and then Reef Rider. It really depends on if we're getting that 1 in 5 hit. I mean, does it, and then if we find out that we only need 2 Cormorants and maybe put, the Old Glory on the one, and who knows? It's until we see the targets, it's hard to really. Until we see the targets with the CMs, everything working properly, it's really hard to make a decision. So
because you're being asked to build a fleet for something and you don't know what the target looks like.
Yep, exactly. But that's been going on for a while. But it's exacerbated by the fact that the Cormorant's doesn't appear that it's going to be working during VXP weekend. So, and the fact that they've added a day onto each of the blank halls. So unless you're going to be coining, you don't have as many options. Well, you might have more options, Derpy, because you're only planning to build 3 ships. So you may have more options on how you equip those ships. But everybody else is sort of like a bear haul with, maybe an engine, maybe a 1 torpedo. But if you're building all 4 ships, you're going to have a hard time trying to figure things out. Because before the bare build time of the hulls was closer to 4 days as opposed to 5. So across 4 ships, you've lost 4 days. So 4 days worth of refits could be quite helpful as far as increasing the survivability and the damage done by your ships and these targets. So Okay, I guess nothing else on this. We can go to the building updates. All right, or upgrades. We have the War Academy. Your shipyard storage slot is increased from 100 to 110. Time to build without being on Facebook or anything else is 10 days, 9 days otherwise. This is the only upgrade that is required for Outpost 13, which is supposed to pop up some point early in 2021. Even though 2021 happens in a different time in Australia and whatever. So, and that's about all this one does. But this is the one that you probably should get done, at least before that happens, because then you won't be able to go to Outpost 13 unless they mess up like last year, where you didn't need any of these prerequisites if you did it in the first 12 hours, and you didn't need to do as many of them as they told us last time, because we needed to have like 3 last time, but you only needed like 1 or 2. It was different than what they told us. But as far as I can tell, this is the only one that they listed that is required to be upgraded prior to starting Outpost 13. So, no comments on War Academy. We can move on. The Launchpad, going to level 6, grants access to new rockets, which we'll get into in a bit. Here's the, and it has a time to build of 15 days if you're not on Facebook and whatnot. It chopped, 1.5 days off of it, so you're looking at like 13 and a half otherwise. The thing to understand here is the new rockets, even though before this update did not have a weight associated with them, you could just keep 25 of them in your launch pad. But now they're well, it was listed in one part where they weigh 1 ton. There was no capacity for weight in your launch pad that I recall seeing. So they've gone to, it might be there now, but so basically you can have 5 of the new rockets and none of the old rockets. You can have 25 of the old rockets, or you can have 20 of the old rockets and 1 of the new rockets. So I don't know. Well, let's move on to the actual rockets themselves. All right, the Orion 5. This is for hitting buildings. This is the one I'm doing first. These are researched in the weapon lab. There's a rocket tab there. They take 14 days. The actual build time themselves is 2 hours, which is shorter than the Orion 4 or Orion 3. But you see this weight over here on the right side of 5 tons. That means you can, like I said, you can only hold 5 of them. Has a flight time of 12. And let's get on to the next one, Daisy Cutter 5. Same deal as far as research time. Requires Launchpad level 6 in order to launch it, but like you can start researching it right now in your weapons lab. It has, if you look on the right, it has a flight time of 4 seconds. That's why I sort of waited. This seems like a PvP thing, or a assault thing, something where some of the ships that we're facing in PvE, hitting something with a flight time of 4 seconds can be a little tricky, a little dicey, especially if you're spending 2 hours to build it. So this feels like something that you want to hit ships that aren't moving.
So you mean like a garrison thing?
Oh, it's a garrison. Yeah, where the ships are safe. Is no. The only thing that's needed for OP-13 is
As of this moment.
as we're speaking, is the War Academy. No, the rest of the stuff does not. So, are they doing enough damage, or are they gonna? They're not gonna. I mean, you see the damage type like in this is explosive, and and I think it's explosive on the building ones as well, right? If you go one step back,
Yes.
yeah. So there are what's the max? What is the special, and what's the max deflection you can get on your dock with that? What's the name of that special? That gives you like a zillion on your dock. Gives you like a zillion deflection. You know,
I don't remember which one that is. My dock's hiding in the corner.
Okay.
Let's see.
There is.
Blueprint. Hold on. Heavy explosive bulwark.
Yeah. How much deflection does that give?
Let's see. That gives you normally with just whatever building it's 150,000, but with the dock it's 25 million.
25 million, and is
Now hold on. There's no commas. I can't see the zeros. It's like 2.5 million.
Oh, so it doesn't even matter. So I would expect some sort of special like that to come out to keep Lady Cat from going over to Derpy's base all the time and launching one of these at his dock, right?
But it would repair. What would be the point?
Oh yeah. I guess it would. Yeah, I guess it would.
Not like the olden days where we could just go.
Yeah.
Bust somebody's dock. Yeah, unless I flatten this whole base, that's not going to matter.
Yeah, well, you don't have to flatten his whole base. You just have to take out the warehouses, the radio, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's the dock, like it, when you're hitting Derpy's base and his dock is hidden way in the corner, you're like, oh, I only have 15 seconds left. Boom. Yeah. Now you can drop this on his
it's a time saver for that, and of course it probably helps for some of your turrets. Yeah. I would assume so.
Well, if I don't use a rocket with a 7-minute build time, I'm probably not going to use one with a 2-hour build time.
Yeah.
Somebody will.
Okay, let's move on because some of these. Okay, yeah. Those, so I guess I'm not. Maybe I lost something because I just hit duplicate slides. So hopefully, all right. Conquest Yard, level 4, level 5 takes 10 days. It says here that bonus building damage for tier 9 through 10. It currently lists on the upgrade 9 to 9.5. I'm assuming that's because we do not own tier 10, but you never know. So that adds building damage of +5 after 10 days, and then level 5 is +10. I'm working under the assumption that both of them add 5. That adds up to 10. That's the way it works historically. The second one is 15 days. So.
Well, you can't build or upgrade ships, so this is going to push my U2 upgrades back another 25 days. Although I do have a 7-day token from somewhere saved up for my Conquest Yard. So it'll take me another 60 days to finish my trenchers. Will take me another 60 days to finish my trenchers, and still at 160 to finish my warhounds. So I think I'll be doing PvP, this summer.
Wow, you might be old enough to drink at that point, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I'll be getting fairly close.
Okay. Alrighty, let's move on.
It might make my win rates go down a little bit, or up.
You never know. Titanium extractor. All right, in the bottom right, I have the picture of I'm
Extract
already
real titanium.
level 5, so we go from we're basically seeing increase of I think this one's 50%. Wait, I think that's for the uranium one. Move forward real quick and then back. Okay, yeah, and that one's okay. Back up. Okay, this one's like 50%. We're seeing huge increases across the board of the amount of titanium and uranium that we are seeing generated inside of our base. We assume when we get to OP13 that we're going to have increased storage, but I also expect a huge change in the titanium uranium economy. As far as uranium, I'm wondering if this is going to get tied into maybe change in road crews. I don't know. Titanium, maybe things are going to get more expensive as we have more storage, we have more in-house production. So that's going to be tricky. So maybe you need to do
And I
this.
need it. I was just going to say they increase the amount of output means you're going to have to pay more for the things that you're building in terms of that.
Dave, I don't know if I agree with that. You might be right. It's the skeptical approach that you're taking.
Of course.
Well, because they
But
didn't.
Their rationale for this was to reduce chores.
Well, that would be a good thing then.
But at this point, do you have your titanium extractor at level 5? No, you don't even have one built, right?
I just built mine. I think I've got 2 at level 1 at this point.
Okay. Once you get to 5 and then 6 for the uranium, I don't really need to. I don't even. Just occasionally, I will hit some of the targets or the daily associated with uranium. Well, I don't need to really go out and gather titanium or uranium anymore. So
I don't need to go gather them if I don't play. So that's there's a benefit.
Yeah, maybe it's needed for the saw factory. Yeah, like I expect some sort of change in the economy. Maybe not a straight up cost change. And I'm assuming the saw factory is going to be titanium because that's PvP. And then maybe uranium is associated with the maybe new road crews. So that would be interesting one way or the other. But I would because right now I'd be like, I'm fine on titanium and uranium, but
and I could fill up in 15 minutes if I go out and hit like 4 targets.
I don't even have to hit targets. I just it's all taken care of with my level 5 and level 6 titanium and uranium. I roll crews, but I'm getting I'm getting a ton of. Well, let's skip one more forward. Lady Cat. Right now, I'm getting 3,000 uranium an hour, and I can hold up to 400,000 inside the. They call it a facility, but at this point, I thought it had a different name before, but yeah, and then you send the daily, but I don't even need to hit the daily. I roll for crews. I mean, it's one of those things I get on Magic Mike about is he doesn't use crews. I use crews pretty much anytime I hit anything, and almost never empty this thing out at level 6. But I did now with one of I think it was the research on one of the rockets. I emptied it out, but I still had like 300,000 left. So it's not like I'm running out. And then, yeah, it's.
I've kind of not been using crews very often because I've got so many good ones. I don't have any space for any steelheads, so I have to use the ones I've been hoarding for years.
Yeah, well, some of them you can still roll. I mean, and I think that's probably what Mike's going to say, right?
What's that?
The reason you don't roll for cruise is because you've been hoarding ones that you got 7 years ago.
Well, I do have a lot of those, yeah.
Yeah.
Bullseye brigades.
Yeah, I got
I've
some.
got one of those.
I got a bunch of them.
I
Probably
got
should use
7
them.
of those.
Should probably use them.
Well, no, I haven't used those, and I have a couple of a few DOS screws and things like
Yep.
that. But the rest of them, I don't know. I think I have like 15 grease monkeys and whatnot. So
Yeah, I don't have that many of those.
yeah. So
I'm full of them.
yeah, the daily covers bounty. That's true. And as far as the Scourge blockade, you can auto the whole. Well, I auto the first. Last time I did it, I autoed the first 2 for instant repair on the map, and then I drive the last one, but I still only have like a minute and a half of damage, and that gives you 310 or so. So I'm expecting some sort of change with this increase. They never give something without taking something away. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. All right. Well, let's go back. Is there anything in total that anybody wants to say about the building upgrades?
Oh, I wasn't really hoping these would come soon, but I guess I was done building everything, most things at least, so I get started on them. Because they'll be important at some point later, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I started my War Academy because that's what I'm gonna need first. I hope we get a date, playing time if we're in the middle of.
I hope you get a date as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's getting tired of the late night text messages.
I hope that Kix tells us when this is going to happen so that we're not in the middle of one of these huge long builds.
Mhm.
We want to.
Especially if they do the thing where the next outpost level locks the next dock level, and
Right.
we need that dock level for the raid. This was the Punisher Mark IIs, where they said, "Oh, you'll be fine. You can just use like 3 ships or 5 half ships," but it didn't really work out very well.
Yeah, so I hope they.
That's yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm sure they'll give us plenty of notice.
Yeah. 2 days prior. Alrighty. Well, let's move on then. All right. We have, thank goodness it fell on this month. Now you have much more time. Way more time, actually, to build and potentially upgrade your Ronins. Normally we have a 3 cycle. Now we have the 4th cycle. So we got an extra 7 days of natural build time and an extra 6 days of FM fueled token build time. So we got an extra 13 days to throw on our ships before we get into whatever the next raid is going to be called that involves the Ronin. So, and Derpy, how is this going to key into your 3-ship plan?
Yeah, well, it means I'll be able to save. I can use cycle 1 of FM tokens right now to get my 3rd ship out of the oven and maybe fully done other than armor in the last few special slots. I can get that out of the oven and done in time for VXP.
Yep.
Then I can save cycle 2. I can save cycle 2 as tokens and save cycle 3 as chests until I get the flagship and pillage during cycle 4. I can instantly use 3 weeks of build tokens on that flagship, get that one done, and maybe some upgrades on it. I might even need to not finish off my first 3 ships so I can save some tokens on those ones. But I should be able to get 4 ships up at least a U2 level, if not a U3 level.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's tricky because you're running an experiment, and it's like sometimes we have 3
Yeah.
weeks, and sometimes we have 4 weeks, and so
And if I end up going over on those on tokens and I build more ships, I have 4 ships done. I don't have any other tokens. I can just spend those ones on the 5th ship and get that working a little bit.
yeah. But what I'm saying is that they might force you through this. Well, the calendar. It might force you to do this experiment next raid cycle as well to figure out if it works as well with 4 weeks the first time than 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It will also end up being pretty hull dependent. I mean, maybe there's some fleet that works well having that needs all 5 to be done, where it has a lot of bonuses between the ships. Whereas one that doesn't have so many, maybe this is okay to have 4.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right, let's move on. All right, the targets. They dropped the 180. I'm sure there's tiers throughout Kixeyville or BPville or whatever, because the 180 was not a love target.
I think they turned up the volume on the 135 also.
I'm still getting it.
I've done a couple and I can't do it that. I used to be able to drive them for like 4 minutes or something. I'm getting 10.
Did you?
I think you need an auto. I auto mic and
Well, I autoed them for that
great.
too. Let's see. I got one just. I swear it's higher damage. I don't know. Could be just me. That's my negative.
While we're on the topic of the,
I'm autoing one right now. So we'll see.
I just looked at my daily deals, and there's a 7-day Conquest Yard build token. That's usually about 300 gold. It's down to 99 right now.
Yeah.
I almost feel like I should buy that, but
How many do you have in your base?
I only have 1.
Okay, I haven't even thought about it. I think I have more than that. I think it was offered more than once, and I was already, by the time they offered it, I already had them. So I'm gonna have to look, but I don't know. I think at this point, either does somebody want to hit the 182, or does somebody want to hit the 135 and figure out?
I'm autoing a 135.
I'm better at autoing than I am at driving.
I'm almost done autoing a 135. It is just now finishing, so I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
On auto.
Well, I could use the free Kixeye fleet in the 182, or I can use my fleet in the 182 in about a minute or so. But it is already at 50% help.
11 minutes and 36 seconds for an auto on a 135 with the same fleet that I've been using.
What upgrade level are you at?
It's not. That's not upgraded at all.
Is it? Well, okay, so this is
Everest. It's a plain Everest.
Is
Is
this
it your fleet or Kixeye fleet?
or is this yours?
Yeah. Which fleet are you using?
The Everest, right?
Yeah, but they gave you an
Hold
Everest fleet.
Hold on. Let me make sure. I might have screwed up.
Yeah, that could show the difference because I'm still getting like 3 to 4 minutes.
Might be theirs. Hold on. I might have taken it out of the dock by mistake. Because I was scrapping some stuff today, so that's a good point.
Hopefully you
You
didn't
didn't
scrap
scrap
your
yours.
Everest.
Yeah,
Well, I shouldn't have. If I did, I'd be really mad at myself.
yeah. We might find out on air.
Oh, tell me.
I
I might have. You know that? Oh, wait. No. I put another skin on my Everest. I was using the Kicks Everest. So the Kicks Everest on auto, 1139. I can go and do it with mine and see what happens.
Okay. Do you want to
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't even recognize
your
it.
screen or is
If you
this,
like, I got to close my Pornhub and all that stuff.
yeah,
I can do it.
Derpy's getting close to his time.
I don't mind. If you want me to, I can do it.
Well, it's. I mean, well, now we could just hear your number, but I think people would be more interested in whatever Derpy comes up with.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm
especially if
glad
you
you
get
guys said that.
35 and be like, yeah, okay, that wasn't worth watching.
I'm glad you guys said that because the first time I hit it, I said, "No, this is way more than I normally get." I didn't even realize it was their fleet, not mine, which is actually your fleet. So, pretty much.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I'm getting 3 minutes. So
Yeah, it's just starting now in auto.
Okay. All right. Well, Derpy, we got you. You all signed up here.
Yep.
And so this is which one?
This is the 182 with my fleet. And
Okay.
right now, it's damaged. It's got 6 hours, 47 minutes of repair time.
Okay.
I did hit this target once before. I got just over an hour damage on it.
Oh, jeez.
But I think that this has a lot of driving that you could do. That's not the right target. I got 2 hours, 40 minutes when I autoed it versus just over an hour driving.
Sorry, but that's too much
Yeah, that's a lot on auto.
for a weekly fleet. For a weekly task, that's too much. My opinion. Yours may differ.
So it starts out with a bit of guaranteed damage right at the top, right at the front here with some of these vulture missiles. If they outrange you and there's no mountains around to block them, I'm going to shoot at those, and you are hit by another ship that's remote targeting onto you. And then I'll come over and kill this Hellstar next. So these other ones stop shooting. The Hellstar you should outrange perfectly fine because you should outrange it and then shoot down the ones you don't outrange. Then I go over to the center, get these other vultures out of the way. Not a whole lot you can do against those to reduce damage. And then I head over to the bottom of the target and kill this next Hellstar. Or you can go for the Brimstone missile first if you want it, I guess. So I'll shoot at that and try and stay in range just far enough, and then keep moving towards the Brimstone as my next target. And there's a lot of things shooting at me here. I think I have good enough anti-coverage to shoot at every incoming projectile. So all the mortars should be taken down. Some of these missiles will definitely get through. Next, I'm going to head to the top of the target, staying out of this range ring. I'm going to go for this ship, and I'll get these two turrets later on. I'll come back around the edge of these mountains to kill them. But there are a lot of ice patches you have to weed around or just be okay with being slow. I'll go for this Brimstone up here, and I'll weave through the ice patches to get there. Because they just slow you down is the difficult bit. And try and use these mountains to block the vulture missiles if possible. And kill those things first before the mortars, because the mortars shouldn't do any damage to you. Thought I might have got too close to the Hellstar, but looks like that was fine. Then a whole bunch of mortars up top here, which if you don't have high projectile speed are definitely going to overwhelm you. next up is these two turrets. Thunder to it. You can see that there's a mountain just to the north. There's a couple here that block the thunderclap. Why you click them.
Are you on your phone, Derpy?
I am not.
Hmm.
Do I sound quiet?
You sound. Anybody else want to muffled?
Yeah, a little bit, but not bad.
Okay.
Just like the mic's a little farther away from his mouth.
It's probably facing the wrong direction, but
Or that.
Okay.
anyway, Hellstar next.
Wow.
You can outrange that.
Yeah, completely. Yeah. You pulled it out of your ass. Yeah, so
Yeah,
much
yeah.
better. Much better now.
Okay, well, you kill the Hellstar, you outrange these mortars. Then there's this thunderclap to get through, and you can just about hide behind these mountains if you want. And this thing is blocked by mountains,
Yeah, that's
or outrun it. It's a bit tricky to do because you have to outrange it, and you're also getting shot at by a few other things, mainly the brimstone. There we go.
okay. Just long enough, as the ladies say.
And then use these rows of mountains, this 3 and this 1 here, to outrange it, or to block the next thunderclap, and also the vultures.
But in general, are the 180s worth hitting?
If you want to drive it, I'm going to say probably. If you're going to auto it, I'm going to say probably not.
Okay.
Then we can play the fun game of I missed a building in the top left, so we'll be going over that direction.
Well, isn't there one in? Okay, I thought there was one in the bottom right. No, as well.
It's a long target.
Okay, I just saw that. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're probably going to work out at 6 minutes, which is not.
Yeah, it can be 5 minutes if I did well. Yeah, you can auto, instead of hitting one of these, you could auto 3 135s or 4 135s. I'll probably be autoing 162s and 172s.
Well, I think Martin's probably autoing the 135s for instant repair.
Yeah.
The water.
I just don't want to auto that many targets, but so I was at 647 beforehand. Now I was in an hour damage in 13 seconds. So
Okay, not bad.
That's not bad.
here's my build: Moster at U0, ones at U1, flagships at U2.
Okay. It won't let you
yeah.
blitz?
I could blitz it.
Oh, it's a discount on the blitz. Okay.
Because my fleet's already damaged, so 14 coins per.
Okay. Well, that's very good.
I still don't have enough for the new special, so.
Yeah. The new special is, it's, nobody's complained in chat yet that the cost, but this is the same cost we've, they ask for a certain amount every week out of FM, and it's the same price it's been for 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, I'd say 3 or 4.
Yeah. Well, we've gone right to the contest. All right.
Wow.
Pirates, this is a simple one. Use the Jolly Harlock photo below, or bring your best editing skills to turn existing Battle Pirates picks into holiday classics, featuring your best caption. Okay, holiday pirate theme pick, a caption either underneath the image in text or included in the image itself. Please follow the forum rules. Keep things safe for work. But jokes are very welcome. Have fun. The first prize is 5 days of structure build tokens, 1 day, I assume, of Ronin upgrade tokens, 50 gold, a featured spot on our social media. So, it's just first place.
There's no second or third. That's
Wow.
I thought they were going to have a better photo to caption, not
Okay,
just a
yeah,
blank text box.
Yeah, let's move down.
yeah. Her example. You'll be sorry if you miss this contest.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of these are going to be removed by the moderators. I mean, what percentage? I'm guessing at least 50% are going to be removed by the moderators. Yeah, I'm still liking my contest idea as far as naming the hall, the weapons, the specials. It just and at least three prize points.
I like this contest. I think it's good. It's funny. I mean, I get laughs out of it. I don't like the fact that there's just one prize. I think the last prize there should have been participation prizes because some people really tried with their old chips.
Yeah, some people used old chips. Some people didn't.
Really used old chips. Some people did. But regardless, I wish I think if you reward more people with a little something, then you'll get more people to enter it. Knowing that there's only one prize on here, people might not bother because, somebody's going to be really good at this. As soon as they see that it's so good, then they're not encouraged to enter. So I do wish.
Or you see people win that didn't follow the rules, and then people go, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, there's that too. Well, I'm still going to enter.
I mean,
I won't expect to win. With just one winner, it's going to be very challenging, but it'll be fun. Just have fun, and maybe she'll find quite a few that are funny enough to earn an upgrade token or something.
But this caption is not really even centered on a good image to be described. It's just Harlock and his little hamster saying something.
Yeah. And when is a hamster going to have its own voice? I mean,
well, you can give the hamster a voice. You do not have to use this image. She says up here.
And then I said, give them 100 days to upgrade their warhounds.
A holiday pirate themed pick, so you can.
Okay.
You can make your own. Oh my God! Yeah, I know what you're gonna do.
I'm already at slide 100 and something. Oh, see if I can find that. I'm at slide 124. I'm looking for the right slide. You know the slide I'm looking for.
No, but I can imagine.
I can't.
It involves Christmas sweaters.
Oh, yeah. That one I know.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of it.
That's the one I'm imagining to caption, right? If everybody remembers the Christmas sweater incident, they weren't happy with the Christmas sweaters.
I do not remember this incident. I remember the picture.
Well, yeah, I didn't talk about it. They were not happy with what how they were dressed up. Oh my God, I'm at slide 326. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Slide 347.
All right, I'll have to switch over.
Okay.
Let's see here. Which slide am I going to? 327?
347.
347.
This number keeps changing.
I said 347 the whole time. Unless I was wrong.
I heard, you said 437.
All right. So these are the ones I'm imagining to caption. As you know, this is the
Why is there a fox in the top right corner?
that's Geely. She didn't want one to be part of You're on
He
the
said,
Naughty
"I don't
List,
like Christmas."
or the
Hold
Let Us
on.
Know,
Why
or
is there an alien let us know with cocaine, an alien with a thermometer, and so where's my hose at? A very
yeah.
decorative carrot. You're on the naughty list, getting slapped. Is that just Santa riding a tank? I think we can all get behind that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think these are much better to caption. Because this is, I think this is, I mean, if we put a little, cartoonish carrot going out from any of these guys, I think this is, a much funner basis to start with.
I would agree. Much more fun than Captain Harlock with the hamster.
Mm-hmm. So that's my idea. But I'm not sure that anybody that starts with this as a basis is going to win anything.
No, and it probably get removed.
Yeah.
Well, that's not my fault. That's the company's fault.
So, all right. What slide should we be at this point? Because we were still progressing through slides.
I think you're pretty close to being done though, because
Well, we know targets was the last one. 21 was our last. Okay.
this one.
Yeah, that was our. Okay, now let's go to the next one. All right. The limited Ronin special. It's 140,000. You can claim 2. Seems like a decent special. It adds 50% concussive damage. We have the splash damage reduction of 6,400, which along with the what's the one that we got in Pillage, which added twice of this.
Looks like a beetle.
Yeah, that was like 1280. So we're around, huge splash damage reduction number. So maybe it works. They're forcing us to put a lot of stuff on, but it does a lot of other.
Even if this gave 0 splash damage reduction, it's still the best concussive damage boosting alternative special we have.
Mm-hmm. So, this is what's there. I mean, auto 172s until you get it, or auto 135s, or whatever you want to do. As far as an auto option, if we decided the 182 doesn't look like a good situation, but the 135, if you're properly equipped and have some of the right upgrades, it's the 135 is instant repair on the map, but if you're going to bed, it's the 172 the best repair per auto, or is the 162?
Honestly, I'm too lazy to scroll to the next direct base, whichever one's there out of those two I'm hitting.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Okay. So, I would recommend you guys get 5 of them. We have 4 weeks in order to claim 5 of them. So,
well, I've got my first one that I just mostly autoed and drove a few with my Everest, so over one day. So it'll be pretty easy to get 5 total if you have a U0 Everest fleet. I have a second fleet as well, so.
And I would recommend you guys start tonight, because if you want to prepare overnight, we have the VXP weekend popping up. So if you want to boom, kill it till it's 11 hours of damage, this is the time to do it without having something else that's going to repair overnight, like your Ronins associated with VXP weekend. So I would do it today if you don't want to spend coins on repair. So, because this is something you want to put on your ships. Yeah, it seems expensive, but we talked about this. It's the same cost we've been paying for, 3 to 4 months or 4 to 5 months, depending on who you're asking. So what's next, if anything? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the end of it.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna put a link out in case anybody wants to join the show at the last minute and comment on anything, or show up for the after show. So the link is out there, and it's basically, I think, what we expected everything to be. Nothing shocking.
No.
Which is a great album. Everybody should listen to it. Jane's Addiction's second album. So,
Start thinking of your captions.
yeah. Oh, should we go back to slide 3? What was that? It's 347.
No.
347.
No.
Or we could go to slide 348. 348. Go to 348.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 348 is going to be fun too.
Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, that was their Christmas picture last year.
Yep.
I wonder if they're giving. I bet they don't give us one ever again.
Are you blaming this on me?
No.
Okay. It sounded like you might have been. So.
Yeah.
And allegedly, that wasn't even her wine.
Yeah. Allegedly, it wasn't his bolo tie either.
This brings up more questions than it does answers.
Yeah. Like, who are these people on the walls? Are these the past CEOs of Kickside?
Now it looks like military.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gun. There's guns. They're at some kind of like foreign legion.
And this what our game's paying for? This fancy building?
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I'm just sort of, in the Canadian paratrooper pillow, that's a collector's item. So, no. I think it's a great photo. But yeah, the bolo tie is, as opposed to the bow tie. The bow tie, the red bow tie with the gold and black shirt, that's a bold fashion choice. But which one, because you're a Gen Zer, right, Derpy?
I don't know.
You're
I'm on the border.
You're on the border. Okay,
I would not be caught dead in any of those outfits. Actually, maybe the guy with the black and blue. That's pretty.
Yeah. That's
it's normal enough.
What about the purple and the black?
I don't know.
That one's not too.
It's not too bad.
Yeah. But the red with the gold and black.
No. Well, and the flower print shirt isn't bad either. But the blue socks there kind of throw you off. There's no coordination.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So. I don't know what else we have to say about this.
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up. And
I think I've seen that couch.
What?
I've seen that couch somewhere before.
Pornhub.
No, I don't know. I'm just still like, are you still wondering if you're one of those, you have the pictures across the top. Like, who are these pictures, below, the smaller ones? Do you ever want, the names are really short. Do you ever wonder if you're one of those? If, especially that one,
The target practice.
top left from, does that say Derpy? Is that a cow?
I don't know. We might have to zoom in and enhance.
Yeah. It's, I'm sure if we zoom in and enhance, it will be a cow, but yeah. But, well, thank you everybody for showing up. The link's in the right-hand side in case you want to join the after show. And we will be back on Friday where we're going to talk about VXP weekend. Can we do it without an engine? Is there going to be an easy way to figure out how to do that? I don't know yet, but it will be interesting to figure out if we can. And, I hope everybody has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you then.
Good night, all.
Later, people.
Take care, folks.